I'm hyperfixated right now for some reason on like the things that the Democratic Party tends to ignore or act like aren't real problems or aren't problems that we should concern ourselves with. And I think that the masculinity crisis, male loneliness thing is a big one. We push back on it as a party a lot. Like, men have been the center of the conversation for a floppity jillion years. Do we really have to keep talking about you? Yeah, we do, because they swung, young men specifically is what I'm talking about here, swung so far to the right in this election. We need to address it. We just have to. Also, I don't think it's a good look to ask men to be more emotionally vulnerable and more emotionally intelligent. And then when they say, cool, we're super lonely, to mock them mercilessly about that. 80% of suicides in this country are men. Like, that is a thing we need to do something about. Also, I have 14-year-old boys, so they are constantly the subject of red pilling content that I'm having to like, taekwondo, no. So from that perspective, just from like the things that I see directed at my children, it's about defining masculinity. They don't know how to do it because we tell men now that like the sort of traditional version of masculinity, protector, provider, isn't necessary because it's not. We haven't filled that with anything. So men who are used to having an identity kind of provided to them by society don't have that anymore. And it is like crashing out. They're just crashing out. The difference is, though, the right takes that seriously and the left kind of doesn't. The right takes that vacuum of meaning and perverts it. The left hates everything about you. Come over here and get involved in my crypto scam and learn how to hate women. So the thing we do with my sons is give them a definition of masculinity that isn't toxic. It's also not exclusive to men. And that definition is that masculinity is about using your strength to protect the vulnerable. The manliest men, that's what they do. Aragorn and Lord of the Rings, Bruce Willis and Die Hard, come on. We also tell them that it is an adult's job to provide for their family. Not men or women necessarily, but an adult. So they can still have that part of their identity. It's the same part that a lot of women have. So I think we need to stop ignoring it. I think that we need to give men a definition, a working definition of masculinity that makes sense. And then I think we have to give them tools to actually do that, to provide for a family and to use their strength to protect more vulnerable people. My theory of how to do that is to tax billionaires out of existence and use that money to provide actual social safety nets, to divorce healthcare from jobs, and to provide education or trade school to whoever so that men can go out and get a job that they like and find dignity in and provide for a family with it. Women too. There's a reason why the people who experience most of the masculinity crisis are working class men. I'm not going to say that telling working class men that their problems aren't real drives them to the right, but the right is more welcoming to them than we are. I think that is just undeniable. And then when they get over into those spaces, they're told that their problems are not their fault, actually. They're women's fault, and immigrants' fault, and gay people's fault, and trans people's fault. And since we haven't really offered them an alternative solution, that's what they accept. So let's give them something better.